Good evening, everybody. It is Steve with Real Progressives. I am extremely tired right now, but I couldn't go to bed without having just this moment to talk to you all about Social Security and full employment. Social Security, every well-meaning person out there will come out and tell you that Social Security is going broke. The Republicans raided the Social Security Trust Fund. Oh my God, we've got to raise FICA in order to keep Social Security solvent. They say all these things and they mean it. They mean it in the heart. They mean it in their soul. They mean it. They say it in all caps, typing, like feverishly typing. We got to save Social Security. And the very people that are trying to save Social Security are actually hurting it. They don't realize it. See, Social Security doesn't reuse our money. The money we pay into Social Security is just another tax. And it's just another federal tax. And federal taxes do what? Federal taxes are literally deleted. All spending, all federal spending is new money creation. All of it, literally, is all new money creation. Every single time the federal government spends a dollar, it's created a new dollar. And every single time it taxes a dollar, it deletes a dollar from existence. It's just this simple. It's so simple. You'd literally have to not be trying to get this to not get this. So Social Security gives you this little tally. You get this sheet and it says, hey, in 19 whatever, I paid this much into Social Security. And in this year, I paid this much in. And this much, and it makes people feel really warm and fuzzy inside that, hey, I've really paid into this and I deserve this. And, that's my money. It's my money. And it's the same exact storyline going way back to World War II when we sold treasury bonds, we sold war bonds, right? They took money out of the economy. That's what they did. They kept money scarce by taxing it. Social Security is never going to go bankrupt because there is no such thing as like a trust fund. It's not like that. That's just a spreadsheet. It's more like a mask, a cover, so that you feel like you've paid into this thing. And just like any other tax, I mean, you pay a gas tax. Do you feel like you're entitled to gas 60 years later? No. But you do feel that for Social Security because they've guaranteed that this is you paid into it. It's yours. That's your skin in the game. That's your emotional heartstrings buying in to the fact that Social Security is something you've always just paid into. But the reality is, it's not true. It's not true. It's just another tax. Your Social Security dollars are deleted from the system. FICA is the most regressive tax because it hits the people that need it not to hit them the most. Think about this. The poor are paying FICA for every single dollar they make. Every single dollar the middle class makes up to whatever, 100,000 or whatever the cutoff is anymore. I don't even know what it is right now. But whatever that number is, you're paying FICA taxes all the way up to that. And it's just being deleted. But yet you feel really, really good inside. You feel warm and fuzzy inside that that's your money and you're entitled to it. This is like the biggest, it's like shooting yourself in the head over and over again and feeling really good about it because you've paid into it to get that bullet in your skull. That's what the FICA tax is. You realize we could eliminate FICA and still expand Social Security for every American. We could even raise it and expand it like Bernie had talked about back in the day. But instead we sit there and act like we don't understand how this works. It's pathetic when you see somebody, you're fighting with somebody who's supposed to be on your team, and you're explaining to them, listen, Snapperhead, listen, Social Security's not going bankrupt, and it can never go bankrupt unless some political game goes on where they decide to not fund it. Do you understand? Unless they make a decision to not fund it. But this is the game. When you act like Social Security is broke, when you do that, when you play that game, however well-meaning you think you are, the GOP, the Republican Party, says, see, Social Security's broke. We've got to fix it. We've got a solution. Let's send them to Wall Street to privatize Social Security. So you see how the defenders of raising FICA think they're doing such a great thing, but they're really, really screwing us all. Every time somebody goes, the Republicans raided the trust fund, they are screwing American citizens because they don't understand how it works. Is it an innocent fraud? Part of me says yes, because people just don't get it. But part of me says, hell no, it's malicious, because people were calling MMT a cult. People were calling this stuff not true. What about inflation? Shit like that. This isn't a political game here. This is just how it works. If you don't like it, it's like saying, I don't like breathing. I don't like gravity. Grow up, Peter Pan, Count Chocula. It's reality. It's just the way it is. So, we talk about full employment. We're going to move on. Social Security, you hear people say it's going broke. They're lying. They're wrong, they're lying, whatever you want to call it, doesn't matter. Either way, it still nets out to the same thing. They're screwing us over, be it innocent or malicious. Now, to full employment. The United States government, because it is the dollar creator, the dollar issuer, etc., whenever it spends on a program, controls the amount of unemployment we have in this country. If they make a program where they're going to hire more nurses, what happens to nurses? We hire more freaking nurses, right? If we make a program where we're going to invest in scientists so that the scientists can solve cancer or AIDS or any other thing, then we do that, and then those jobs come about. Whether it be government jobs or whether it be subsidizing private sector, doesn't matter. It is still the government, the one creating the unemployment. Now, we look at the Federal Reserve. The Federal Reserve has two mandates: price stability and full employment. Well, they've deemed, because they're neoliberals, that we're supposed to have like 5% unemployment, some Nauru thing, okay? Because they're afraid of inflation. Just like every other right-winger, and just like a lot of horrible libertarian-style lefties that have come into the movement, Ron Paul style, and have polluted the movement and destroyed any sense of common sense on the left now. But full employment is very, very achievable, because everywhere you go, every single place you go, every school you go to, every local community you go to, every one of these have many services that go undone, unfunded. The employment is intentionally kept low. But yet you see these idiots running around talking about a UBI or a basic income. Now, I've already told you can expand Social Security. But they say, no, you can't, my hard-earned Social Security dollars. But yet the same knuckleheads are over here telling me, but we can have a UBI. Something doesn't make sense, does it? Somebody hit the crack pipe. Somebody isn't econing. Somebody doesn't get it. And somebody's probably too goddamn proud to admit they don't get it. And so they'll sit there and fight with you like you're telling them a fib, when the reality is you're standing on the top rope, elbow out, ready to drop the elbow of truth on their noggin. Okay? Bottom line is we could have full employment, meaningful employment, not ditch digging. We're not talking ditch digging. Do a little teeny bit of basic math. All the bridges in America are falling apart. We've talked about this before. We'll continue to talk about it. Millions of jobs just maintaining our infrastructure. Forget new infrastructure. Just maintaining what we already have. Millions of jobs. Millions of jobs that are not being done today. And how are you going to get enough people to fill those jobs? Well, you're pushing all the immigrants out, aren't you? Oh, we can't have any immigrants, can we? But then what do you look at internally? The U.S. citizens. Where's the job training? Guess what? The government decides it wants to train people, wants to hire people, etc. It does it because it alone can spend that currency into existence by congressional appropriation. Done. No more hand wringing. No more, oh my God, but what about the Rothschilds or George Soros or inflation? None of the bullshit. Kick it out to the curb and stay in reality. Get out of the rabbit hole and live up here amongst the living. Get some sunlight on you, okay? Stay out of the closet. No more 20-sided die in your, Game of Thrones that you're playing in life. Let's live in reality. So let's just say now we've gone ahead and improved our infrastructure. Let's just say now we've passed Medicare for all and all those jobs. My God, the millions of jobs there. And then let's say now everybody needs education. And then there's tons of teachers. And let's just say we want to improve our public school system that is currently not federally guaranteed. It is a state thing. And let's say we federally guarantee a right to an education. Now all of a sudden you've got to pay teachers and need more teachers. And then you've got to upgrade the schools, millions more jobs. And what happens? How many of you all have ever installed, a new hardwood floor in your house, or maybe new carpeting? Or maybe you went ahead and you painted your house. In 5 years, you got to repaint the thing again, right? So there's a constant maintenance cycle. We don't do that enough. Millions of jobs just maintaining what we have. Next, let's just say everything's going hunky-dory and we still got poor people. A federal job guarantee with a living wage, federal benefits, and it's locally administered in your community. Whatever your local community wants to have supported could be held in this federal job guarantee. It could subsidize nonprofit work so that people that are typically volunteering would get a paycheck, a living wage at that. So when you see the UBI folks running around, they're willing to sell you out and sell the entire safety net out and everything else because they don't know any better. Is it an innocent fraud? I think so. Because I think there are good people out there that just don't know any better but are full of fucking piss and vinegar and think that, man, we got to have a UBI, but they don't understand any of what I just said. And it's a goddamn shame that they don't. Because they're running around backslapping each other. I'm not joking. I'm going to tell you a story. I won't use her name, but there's one particular burner who ran around calling MMT a cult, ran around talking about things she had no clue about, but she's in the Cool Kids Club. The ones they all backslap each other. She's running around talking about a UBI. When you try to explain to her the real benefit of a job guarantee, which pegs the economy to labor. So now there's no more unemployed people that don't want to be unemployed. You follow me? Now there's no more employers saying, well, when's the last time you worked? Bottom line is employers are hiring employed people, not hiring unemployed people for gutter wages. You've now set the basement floor. She didn't know any of this, but damn it, she was ready to go toe to toe. Toe to toe. Man, she's going to fight it. Why is it that people cannot humble themselves to learn these basic things to save our children, save our planet, save our country, and save each other? Why can't they humble themselves and learn instead of running around fist in the air, woohoo, latte liberals, hanging out at the Cool Kids Club at some chic little cocoa, place, get some coffee, whatever. I'm telling you folks, full employment is freaking doable right now. So is Social Security and expanding it to cover people that the job guarantee doesn't hit. You see the combination? Expand Social Security, federal job guarantee, expand infrastructure, and remember, the country cannot go broke. The country creates its own money. The people that talk about this Federal Reserve stuff, Literally, Savat kick him. Done. Move. Go. Get out of the way. Stop sidelining us. Stop running us through the rabbit hole. Get out of here. Go. I mean, seriously. And one final thing, and this is a memo to the Green Party. Just because you like the name greening the dollar, just because you sloganeered greening the dollar, doesn't mean that you have to double down on stupid with all the Federal Reserve myths and conspiracies and pretend somehow or another the nation is drowning in debt. It borrows its own money. Think about how ridiculous that is. It's an accounting balance sheet operation, nothing more. I've never seen a bank scared of savings accounts. Have you? Have you ever seen a bank scared of savings accounts? If you haven't, then you shouldn't be scared of the national debt. It is an absolute atrocity that in 2018, human beings still worry about the national debt. Haven't you gotten sick of the last 50 years or whatever hearing about the stupid national debt and reducing the deficit? Aren't you sick to death of being misled by that? I know I am. And I'm sick to death of the people that do it too. Because the information is right there at your fingertips. You've heard it before. There's no excuses anymore. It's the no excuse zone. You don't have an excuse for being economically illiterate any longer. The excuse, gone. It's up to you to choose to be useful and learn and not be part of the problem repeating bullshit. Anyway, lesson out of here. Social Security can't go broke, and it could be expanded, and we could get rid of FICA, just like that. FICA is a regressive tax, it's bullshit, and it affects the poor. Stop acting like it's got to be raised. It's moronic, and you don't get a pass anymore because now you've been told. Full employment is not make work. We're not talking about dig a hole, fill a hole, dig a hole, fill a hole. We're talking about serving your local community. We're talking about doing all the things that you see already when you look around your local community that are being left undone. We're talking about serving in nonprofits and helping with people that are already volunteering and giving them a living wage. Please never ever say again make work. It's a lie and it makes you look stupid. Please never ever say automation is taking away jobs because Captain Kirk was still fucking working. All right? Let's get it clear. No more stupid statements anymore. No more conspiracies that rob the movement of energy. No more ridiculous idiocy when it comes to economics. Our kids are literally depending on us to be smarter than that. Step up and be accounted for. I'm Steve Grumbine with Real Progressives. Have a great night, everybody. I'm out.